Alright, mic's unmuted. So, hello everyone, and welcome to our slightly less live hangout. For those of you joining us for the first time, I'm accompanied by this guy.
My name is Joris, I'm the project lead on Arma.
And this guy.
And I'm Cornel, I'm the brand and PR manager.
And the guy in the back.
Hello, I'm Vitka, and I'm encoding lead.
And of course,
hello, I'm Jake Rowe, I'm creative director on Arma 3.
And I'm Thomas Ryan, mission designer on Arma 3 and the host for this evening. So, yeah, I guess we can get started. But first...
Well, maybe we start with an apology. We're sorry that the live stream isn't very live. We had some problems with our bandwidth. So apologies to anyone that was waiting for us, that turned up on our Twitch channel.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, sorry about that. We're going to do this now and then upload it as soon as we can. And, well, you're here now watching it, so something must have gone right.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess we'll get started. And to begin with, what we'll be showing you guys is a sneak peek at one of the new showcases included in Release, which is the NATO faction showcase.
Yeah, what we're going to do over the next hour or so is, so I'll be with you for around 20 minutes. We'll start with this faction showcase. We'll jump into a helicopter, take a bit of a tour of Altus itself, maybe stop at an interesting location and show you what it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'll switch out, Joris will come in, we'll look at a firing drill, we'll look at a quick mission that hopefully Zipper will put together.
Hopefully.
Showing some fixed-wing aircraft. And finally we'll finish off with Lord Petke, who will jump into a tank and show us some drones if we have time.
Sounds good.
So, where are we?
Well, yeah, so here we are at the NATO faction showcase mission. Let's get started. Taking place on one of the airfields on Altus, in fact.
Yeah, it's actually the main sort of airport, I guess. This is probably the biggest.
Yeah, definitely the biggest one on
the biggest one we have. But there are multiple airstrips. I think there are at least 5.
Yeah, I think there's at least. Yeah. So where do you think we should go to first?
Well, we can see some tanks in the distance, I guess. The interesting thing about the faction showcases is each one, there's one for NATO, CSAT, AAF, they all have some special presentation area. In NATO's case, it's a live fire exercise.
You can actually hear them firing there in the background.
I can't. I don't
yeah, you can. I can. So should we head over there?
If we head over there, we can take a look at the slammer tank
sure.
And the artillery.
So what we're going to do here is we're going to open up the strategic map. You guys might have seen this on the previous stream where we were zipping around Altus, but it's utilized here to switch between the various sections. But what we're going to do now is go straight to the Expo event, as Jim mentioned. So let's just go. Alright, here we are.
Yeah, so I think everyone's looking forward to getting the big guns in Release. So this is the artillery for NATO.
It seems we have a bit of a bug right there. That empty screen is actually meant to show our pip feed. Where's the pip feed actually coming from?
The targets that they're shooting.
Right, yeah. But it seems obviously it's still work in progress, so there are going to be still some bugs. But you can see you got a whole bunch of the new tanks here. So you have the M2A1 Slammer, and you also have the howitzer variants, the M4 Scorcher, actually firing downrange as well.
So the idea of these simple showcase missions is to get all of the assets that are going to be for each faction and put them in one place. We know that people like to see everything together, and maybe the first thing they do when they launch the game is
definitely
go and see what's in game. And this is sort of all prepared for you, and yeah, I suppose
it gives a really nice quick look at basically all the things for each faction.
Yeah.
So moving right along, where shall we go to next, do you think?
Some of the area in the expo, maybe probably autonomous.
Autonomous?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So obviously we teased a few of the autonomous vehicles that we'll have in the beta launch trailer. So maybe we'll take a look at the data. UAV just on the table over there.
Sure. So here's the quad rotor darter.
Yeah, cool. So there's a few different kinds of UAVs and UGVs in Arma 3. This is one that you can disassemble, pack up into a backpack, take with you and deploy on the infantry level. If we turn around, we can see the slightly larger ones, obviously.
Yep, so there's the Greyhawk, which the announcer was talking about just a second ago, and he's talking about now. So yeah, as you go around the expo, you will get these pieces of exposition from the announcers, correct?
Yeah, we just added that.
Yeah, and they'll basically tell you all about the different stuff that you're looking at.
And then these ones are the unmanned ground vehicles, both armed and unarmed.
So which do you think we should show off?
The one with the guns.
Okay, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. So yeah, let's try connecting to him. Alright, so you can see here we have various different options. You can open our UAV terminal, disconnect from the unit, but you can also take direct control. So I guess what we'll do right now is take direct control of him and drive him around a little bit.
Maybe if we have time later. My favorite is the data, so we'll get Petka maybe to set that up at the end if we have time.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
We should probably make time as a sorry for
for the less than live stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see I'm actually manually controlling the Stomper now. You can swap between first and third person perspectives as per usual.
Depending on the difficulty.
Yeah. Just drive around the expo a little bit. And of course at any time you can also swap to the turret itself, which maybe we'll do right now and fire off a couple rounds, I think, just for some fun. So yeah, he's armed with the usual loadout, so you got your machine gun. I'll switch to third person. So the machine gun, and also the high fire rate grenade launcher.
I think you are probably hearing, if you go to the internal, you're hearing the new filtering for the
That's
vehicles.
true, yep.
I think that was just in, we improved a version of that this week on Wednesday or Thursday. Still got some more tweaks to do, but
yeah, you can
nice
notice a very significant difference in how the gunshots sound when you're inside, like from the perspective of the crew, shall we say, and also the external sounds are as the perspective for anyone around it, unlucky enough to be around it. Alright, well,
let's keep moving.
Yeah. Shall we keep driving with this guy, or shall we move on to something else?
Let's make our way somewhere else, I think. It's definitely a lot of fun to drive, and
for sure.
UAVs generally, we're really looking forward to putting them into the game, because they offer a different way of playing missions.
They definitely mix things up a bit.
Yeah. I mean, obviously this is an armed one, so it seems a bit like a blunt weapon. But the small quadricopter, used more for scouting on the infantry level, so you can get up and see the lay of the land.
A little cool effect, as you can see me right there, just waiting around while I'm controlling my vehicle. Of course, they are also autonomous, so they will work on their own. We're just showing right now the manual control.
As you found when you were making the showcase jobs.
Yeah, exactly. Alright, so let's release control of the guy. That's as simple as it is to come back to your player unit. So, what do you think we should move on to?
The helicopter.
Sure, yeah. Let's take a little bit of a helicopter flight. I don't think we really need to use the strategic map here. We can just walk on over.
But maybe we had a couple of questions on the forum. Maybe it's a good time to mention that we hope to deploy our drones to the dev branch next week, barring any problems which may pop up. We hope to get those in your hands late next week. But obviously we'll keep you up to date with what's going on.
Definitely. Usual social channels. Yeah. So I guess we'll take the Ghost Hawk out for a spin. Yeah.
So what we'd like to do maybe is show you a bit of Altus. There's a lot of it to show, so there's no way we're going to get around much of it. But I think if we take off and head along the coast, we'll be able to see a couple of interesting places, some different things, and if we land, then we can sort of get this feeling that although the environment is pretty enormous, it also has a lot of richness and detail.
Definitely. I'm still surprised all the time coming across new stuff that I've never seen before, just by placing myself randomly on the map.
Yeah, exactly.
So you can see here these awfully imposing towers, which represents one of the many solar farms on Altus. I'll just swap here to free look and have a look as we fly by.
Our map designers I want us to be a little cautious about what we show, because they want it still to be a surprise for people when they get Altus in their hands.
There's definitely an element of exploration in Altus itself.
But there are so many little places that we can see just from here that it's fun to get on the ground and go and explore them and see them from a different point of view.
So where should we head to next?
Maybe swing around these research domes.
Sure.
And then head down to the new capital.
I think so, yeah. So yeah, our final destination will be the capital of Altus, which is quite impressive when you get close enough.
I just can't pronounce the name.
Yeah, Pyrgos. Nice little research base right there at the research domes. Alright, so let's floor it to Pyrgos. I'll be a little bit dangerous here and open the map just to make sure I'm going in the right direction.
You are going completely the wrong direction.
I think I am going
exactly
the wrong direction.
Good thing this isn't live.
Yeah, good thing it's not live.
We'll
just cut that part out. Yeah. I had this feeling in my head, it's like...
I mean, I didn't want to make it
Yeah. I know, I do that for myself. It's fine. Alright.
No,
still not going the right direction.
We're giving you a bigger sense of the different kind of terrains.
Oh yeah, yes. It was all planned. All of it was planned. Alright.
But I think it is worth mentioning just how very different Altus is compared to Stratus. I mean, Stratus was really cool for when it came out in the alpha, and I mean, it's still giving people a lot of fun. But I think when Altus opens up, people will see, just really what the differences are.
Exactly, the sheer amount of possibilities and such.
Yeah, and the terrain on Altus is very varied. So we've just flown over some very flat areas, very open for tank commanding and that sort of engagement. And a couple more military-esque installations and such. Yeah, which again we'll be able to see when Petka joins us on the stream later. But there are very different parts. Like if we went to the northeast, much more hilly, mountainous kind of area. And then when we go down to the capital here, much more urban buildings, but all at a very respectable level of detail. And our map designers have really poured their hearts into this terrain. Definitely. And I think you can really see the results. It really shows, yeah, for sure. So here we are approaching the capital of Altus, called Pyrgos. You can see again we still have the sort of military installations, but we also have it sort of the nice complement of the highly populated civilian settlement right here.
So I will just join in for a moment.
Yeah.
On the forums we asked the people if they had some questions for us to answer.
Of course.
Well, first of all, thanks everyone for submitting the questions, and well, some of them we can answer right now, some of them will be answered later. But as we are flying over Altus right now, I think one of the most recurring questions was whether Altus will be on dev branch before release.
The answer is yes. I think we'd be stupid not to. I mean, it's an absolutely enormous place, and although all we've been basically doing for the last few months is testing it and going through all of the areas, just to get it out there, a little bit before launch would be very useful. We'd be looking maybe sometime around Gamescom to get this into the dev branch players' hands, and of course, it's not just in terms of testing this ability, but it'll enable people to start making missions and moving across their mods from Stratus onto Altus, so that when the game launches, there'll already be a whole bunch of content prepared for it. So I think that's it's definitely in our interest and in the players' interest for us to get it out there. Yeah, I would agree for sure.
So every now and then I will just pop in and ask some of the questions, but right now I will let you go.
Let us
go ahead with the presentation.
If we jump back to where we're at the capital, we'd be really
live and
take a look at some of the details around.
Yeah,
sort of thing.
Why not?
Yeah. I think there's a really interesting. In every area there are lots of sort of little pieces of interest that the map designers will go a bit more crazy on.
Is there any specific one we should take a look at?
There's a nice sort of little graveyard kind of place just beside the capital. I mean, these military.
You're gonna have to guide me to it. Yeah, this is when he should be the one piloting.
Well, I am a pilot. It's just over there.
Is that it? Yeah, that's it right there. Okay, so I'll do a little bit of a spin around here and take this down.
So one of the things that we're really excited, particularly our environment designers are very excited about, is these little places that you can go and explore. I mean, obviously Arma is a military game, and we're here to fight battles, but another part of our game, one of the strengths that's always been a part of the Arma series, is the terrains, and just putting yourself in the map or having that kind of mission which is a little longer, and you come across these places and they just take you by surprise, and they have their own character. I think that's a really important part of the game, and Altus is one of probably the best examples we've had of it. I mean, Generous is still, has been my favorite map for the longest time, and it's still nice to go back to it from Altus because it's so lush and green.
Yeah.
Whereas Altus has a little bit more of like dry Mediterranean flavor, but just in terms of the sheer amount of details, like I must have only been to 25% of these
definitely
points of interest.
Yeah. Us as developers are still finding new cool stuff all the time. Yeah, I definitely should have landed over here. Would have been much faster.
Congratulations.
But yeah, here's the rather nice looking.
I think we call it the Allied War Cemetery. This is like a World War I monument. And on the other side of the wall is more of a traditional sort of
just over there, I think,
and crypt sort of area.
But it really gives you a sense of just like these areas that you can find just by placing yourself on Altus and going for a stroll.
Yeah, we wanted to land because you see the Altus from the air and it's very big and very sort of exciting, but really getting on the ground, it feels a bit smaller, but the richness I think is there for all to see.
For sure, and it drives home the fact that you can go anywhere, do anything, pretty much. You go from the ground to a helicopter, back to the ground.
I think it was just on Friday we decided this would be a good place to show off because I was playing around with time of day, and it's one of those situations where you put yourself on the map, you find it, you change it to a certain time of day, and suddenly somehow there has to be a mission here. Like
just has to be.
Yeah,
it's definitely one of those things.
Yeah, a bit of fog, a bit of sunrise or sunset, and suddenly this place is very atmospheric, and it's just crying out for a mission to be made here.
Yeah, you're going from sort of the romantic sunset as we have right now. You can go to the really creepy, dense fog and that kind of stuff. Create multiple different scenarios.
Cool.
All right. Well,
so I don't know if we want to move on.
Yeah, I guess. Is it time for something else?
Yeah. Well, I think maybe if we jump back into the main menu, maybe we'll get Yaris across and take a look at some of the firing drills.
Sure, why not?
Invite him over.
All right, so let's get yours in here. Once it heads back to the main menu.
Of course, this live stream is about the launch content we've got, and the firing drills are part of that. We're extending. There are four in the beta at the moment, and we'll be extending that to a total of 10. So I think we'll probably play one of the new ones, which has, it's based in one of the castle ruins. I mean, Arma games always have to have castle ruins in them.
Sort of our thing.
So so we went ahead and put I think Red 3 is in a really cool castle. So
you can see here we have a whole bunch of these added, but here we go, Red 3. All right, and is it time for yours? Time in this?
I will vacate this ball which I'm sitting on and not destroy the.
It's a gym ball, by the way. It's not something else.
Right.
All right, welcome.
Hello, Tom. Hello, everyone.
Well, here we are on...
So yeah, this is one of the newer release firing drills that we have. So
I guess we'll just go training.
We go training. Yeah. You're still a little bit new to this.
Because I'm a little bit of a noob to this course. All right.
I left my coffee.
Jay left his coffee.
Yeah,
so we'll just do a quick run through of this, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. This one is quite lengthy. There's quite a lot of different things going on. And as we approach this first checkpoint, you can see there's added target variety as well.
See if I can hit it?
Yeah.
Nope.
Those are quite challenging to hit, actually.
Little bits of skeets. I get shut up.
The point is, these are bonus targets, and if you don't have to hit them to complete the course, but if you do, you get a bit of time taken from your final time. So it's a little bit of a trade-off between accuracy and taking the time to aim for these. And
I'm doing okay here. But then there's also these targets, right?
These are also bonus targets, so you can choose to skip them, but they're quite satisfying the way that they...
The nice little particle effect there. Alright, I think did I get all of them? I did get all of them, yeah.
Cleared those.
I'll reload here.
So we're moving to the battlements, and There should be a whole bunch of
Oh, hello.
static targets invading the castle, trying to.
I missed one apparently. I missed two.
That's fine. We're still learning.
Yeah. Oh, a whole bunch more.
You can actually sometimes get a better time if you do miss the target. Like, let's say
it's all about time management. I
exactly.
guess, here.
It's just planning the way that you go through these things, and it might in the end be beneficial to just move on and not waste time looking for a target. Or
I guess it's the trade-off between the points you want and the time you want. Kind of, you have to manage both. Yeah.
Exactly. It's all about not the raw time at finish, but the final time when you take into account bonuses and penalties. So you see as well the steel plate targets, which a lot of competitive shooters will know from their ranges or drills. Here as well, these targets.
A couple more bonus targets, but didn't hit either of those. I think I'll just move on,
even just
as
one,
you said.
Even just one will take. It depends on which type of target, but it might take like half a second of your time. So
I'm gonna pass that off as me just managing my time, not
exactly.
just unable
it's
to.
all skill.
Yeah, exactly.
Another little detail that we've added now to these final drills is all these sponsor signs. So these are Arma-verse sponsors. Some of the names you might recognize if you've been with us for a while.
A little bit of a nod to previous projects.
Exactly, like the PMC DLC.
Yeah. I think there's even a couple name drops from Take on Helicopters as well.
There is, yes.
There are two more. I can't see them. I'm moving on.
Next checkpoint.
But yeah, you can see in the top left there, I'm checking the number of targets I have remaining.
That is one way of doing it. The other way that's been added recently is you can go to the map and you can see on the map where there is targets. Of course, that takes time.
Is that there in a competitive mode as well, or just training?
It is. They're currently also in competitive.
Okay.
The difference is when they are revealed to you. It might be that on training you see them always, and on competitive you only see them when you're in the checkpoint.
Right. Okay. So this is a bit more long range.
Yep.
Too slow.
And there's one more. Can't see him. Move on.
Move on.
Yeah. Reload again. I'm a bit fatigued. I guess it's another thing you have to be careful.
Balancing reloads, like your fatigue with sprinting and all that, that all affects. It can take seconds difference. Yeah, this checkpoint you can be moving actually while shooting. So it's good to move towards your final checkpoint while you're taking down these targets.
Yeah, that actually made me feel like a pro for once. I think
what we have here, if you switch to your pistol, these are actually, that's another new feature, is the accuracy bonuses. So some of these targets, they have accuracy zones, for example, on their torso or their head. And again, if you take the time to aim for that, then you might get a bonus for it, or you can just go for a plain hit.
Definitely. Yeah, I'm having a problem here. Yeah, here's the hint just in the nick of time.
About fatigue.
Yeah, I can't sprint, so of course I need to be managing my fatigue better throughout the course, because this is obviously going to have a negative impact on my final time.
We are approaching now the final checkpoint, which is quite crowded as well.
He says final, so I'm going to reload.
Yes, and there's a little bit of there's a statue there and a lot of no-shoot targets around it, so make sure to miss those.
Not shoot them.
Exactly. And again, if you wanted to, you could be doing some of this on the move, approaching the finish.
That's true. I'm not confident enough in myself.
That's fine, you'll learn.
I can sprint finally. So this is the sprint to the finish.
Exactly.
And there we go.
Course is clear.
So yeah, you see in the overview that
you
can go right.
Yeah.
No medal time.
No medal whatsoever. But you can see it also.
Another couple of goes and you'll be fine.
It records your times. It says your final best previous.
If you go to the map now as well, you can see, like, if you zoom in, you can sort of do an after-action review. You see which checkpoints, which targets you missed, which you...
I think I missed a couple over here.
Yeah, you see the little axis.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, those you missed.
Okay. And then I think I missed some further back here. But yeah, so you can get an idea.
A little bit of a feeling of what went right, what went wrong.
Cool.
Okay.
Well, yeah, it's definitely another...
We can move on.
Yeah. It's definitely another unique, different aspect of Arma's gameplay introduced in Arma 3.
It's like, it's a more simple type of approach, but I think it's really enjoyable to just train these and then run through them and get better and better. You get into this flow of running, making the perfect run.
Yeah.
It's quite satisfying.
It becomes you want to perfect your routine basically.
Exactly.
All right, so should we get another person in here?
Stand by.
Actually, we were still gonna do your
Right.
your editor mission.
Mhm.
So let's go to that.
So yeah, let's exit out of here, head back to the main menu.
Like the final thing I'll say about these firing drills is that we'll have an added 6 for the release package. So there's 2 of each category. There's some that are more sniper based and long range with zeroing and all that stuff. Yeah.
Cool. So one thing I guess a lot of people have wanted to see is jets for Arma 3.
Seems that
So
way,
I
yeah.
think what we're going to do here is quickly set up a simple mission. Those of you who tuned in for our previous live streams will know that one of them was sort of a mission making tutorial. We'll sort of go through a lot of the similar things there. You can of course check out the previous live stream if you want a more in-depth thing. But I think what we're going to just set up here is a very quick air-to-ground engagement involving our buzzard fighter jet.
And while you're setting up,
Yep.
allow me to
He's
ask
back.
some of the
Terrifying.
questions remaining. We have quite a list this time.
Alright, bring them on.
So all of them are quite future focused, I would say. And let's start with a question which we kind of merged. So I have a question from Baiku, NM Danny, Frank HH, Dill 0404 and Sari.
Great
Internet
name.
And if we merged those questions, they were asking, will we keep working on issues that are reported to the feedback tracker? Will there still be big updates after alpha and beta? And will there still be a dev branch and stable branch separately?
I think the easiest answer to all of them is pretty much yes, definitely. We are continuing full support for a long time. So to target those questions in one by one, the feedback tracker is not something we are shutting down just because we get out of beta. We're just leaving that active and we're still going to process those issues. More can be reported and we'll just deal with them. Dev branch and stable branch, that will still remain to be active as it is. So we're going to be doing daily builds as we have been doing for alpha and beta, as well as quite regular larger patches.
Okay, and then
Did I miss one?
no, that was all. And then another question from Shotgun Samus. I don't make up
Much
these,
easier to
names.
say.
Yeah, great names. Do you already have plans for DLCs, like features or content or whatever? And do you have an idea of when you will start releasing these?
Well, our first focus, well, now we are focused on the release, so that's our primary focus, and we're just everyone is hands on deck to do that. Then the rest of the year is all about the campaign episodes that we've been announcing last week. And then definitely there will be post-launch support, a whole lot of it, and a large part of the team working on that for a long time. So we definitely see it as not a single time event, the launch, but something that we're continuing to be working on.
Okay. So, and then I have a question from Sami G, which I will actually answer myself. He is asking how many weapons will be at launch, available at launch. For this we actually have a webpage. It's armafree.com/launch-countdown. And there's really a list of all the weapons, even the vehicles, and also an overview of all the content available at launch. So you find all the information there. But then the question, another like post-release question is, will the current dev team working on Arma 3 stay working on Arma 3 after release, or will they move to other projects?
Well, so I sort of hinted at it already. Definitely the whole rest of this year, it's pretty much the entire team is going to be working on Arma 3. And I would say that even for many months after that, it will be a large chunk of the team that is going to be just dedicated to Arma 3 as it continues to grow. There might be here and there people who are assisting other projects, but overall we're going to be working on various types of support for Arma 3, definitely.
Okay. And then I think the last question, I hope Thomas is almost ready. Setting
Yeah.
up.
He is
Almost done.
Mission Ninja.
Just
So-
take your time, take your time.
So
That's
it's
fine.
the last
No
question.
rush.
It's about Steam Workshop, so that's actually pretty cool because that is
pretty cool, yeah.
it's coming quite soon.
What I will
he's
quickly
based-
say about that is it was already launched in Dev Branch last week, finally, and it was really cool to see that immediately people started putting missions there, single player, multiplayer.
Penguin.
Yeah, we saw an image of a penguin being used. They get rated, there's comments, and when you subscribe, there is you can get updates directly in the game, and it's just a really cool way of getting to new missions with it. And with the final beta patch coming quite soon, this will be included for everyone on the Arma 3 beta.
Okay, so then the question from Sir JD was if, because right now you can share scenarios with Steam Workshop, and
Yeah.
if you can also in the future share weapons, like basically mods in the future.
So the missions, they were our most logical starting point to get to grips with the whole Steam Workshop technology and the way that it works and to test it. But we see it as part of our roadmap to then expand it also to add-ons. It is the way where we need to be going, so we definitely plan to do that.
Okay, so well, thanks for these answers.
Thank you
I
for
hope
submitting.
Thomas is
I'm
almost
not
ready
finished.
to
Yeah,
show
but
off.
I
Maybe
guess what
talk a
I'll do
little
is
bit
just
about- yeah.
of what the hell I'm doing, yeah, because it's kind of rapid. So what I've already done so far, for those paying attention, is I've given us a plane way over here. I've given us some tasks. First task, get into the plane itself. So you create the task, you set task state to assigned to make it your current task when you start, and then given it a task destination, which is obviously the plane itself. Then you are tasked with going over here to destroy a stationary convoy. So you have, again, create task, task state, all that stuff. But now we're introducing sort of the synchronized issues with the modules. So there are conditions for when the task goes to a certain state. Right now I've set up that when the trucks are destroyed, which is right here, the task is set to succeeded, but once you get into the plane, it's assigned, so you have a waypoint to move to once you've gotten in the plane. Only thing left to do now is actually succeed the task when you get into the plane, which I accidentally forgot about at the start. But let's just do that quick. So
And the main cool thing about all of this is that you don't necessarily need to know the syntax or how the scripting language works, because this is much more visual.
Definitely.
So you can use these modules and visually oriented make a mission and then eventually submit it to workshop. Obviously.
You could share this one with Workshop.
Technically I could, yes.
Will you?
Yeah, it's a possibility. Alright, so we're going to use this trigger to synchronize both. So what the trigger is doing is, you can see, checking that I'm the pilot of the plane. That's one thing. I need to name the plane Plane 1, because otherwise that won't work. But what that'll do is it'll fire both of those modules at the same time, and what that'll do is it'll set the task for getting it to succeeded, and it will set the destroy task as assigned, so I have a waypoint.
And one quick thing I will just say back on the topic of firing drills is that this whole visual approach of making missions is also going to be eventually applied to firing drills, so everyone can make more of them.
So I'm just going to save this as Death from Above, and maybe let's increase the cloud cover a little bit so that we have something to fly through.
I want a romantic sunset to fly.
Romantic sunset?
Or
You got it.
sunrise.
What direction? West, so the sun needs to be setting. So let's do 1835, you said?
Why not?
I don't. 1835, 50% cloud cover. Sounds good. Save once more.
If you get this right in one go, that'll be...
that'll be a record, yes. Okay. So let's see. Hopefully no errors.
I also like these little bit of trivia that we've added recently.
Yeah,
to
you might
both of
notice
the maps.
some,
So
yeah.
while you're loading, you just get these tiny little facts about the various locations. And
Alright, so far it's okay. Yeah, so get in the plane, board the plane's pilot, current task, destroy the convoy, stop convoy, destroy it. Okay. So when I get in here, it should succeed the task. So, hopping in, task succeeded,
Oh my god.
and yeah, it's assigned. Cool. Alright, so you can see just how easy it is to set that up. So let's turn on our engine, shall we? That does sound pretty cool. And you can again tell the difference between the interior and exterior sounds. You guys can, I can. What'd you say? Yeah, so I think we're all ready to go now. So let's get rolling.
so this is more of a like improvised airstrip rather than the one that we saw before, which is
This one is, yeah, it's much more like just a dirt runway. Set up at spare of the moment, kind of. Alright. Build up some airspeed. Pull back very lightly on the joystick. There's an obstacle. And I think I'm okay.
We're almost stalling there.
Yes.
Just managed.
He's a better mission designer.
Alright, so we are airborne. There is our romantic sunset. You can see it nicely reflecting there off the water surface. Let's go a bit higher and maybe fly through the clouds a little bit. But yeah, you can really get an idea for the size of Altus from these planes. The only issue at the moment, obviously, is V-distance. However, you can set V-distance much higher than this.
And the other issue is that you're talking rather loudly over the engine.
I can't tell! My apologies. But yeah, it is a rather loud plane, so I'll just stay inside for now, I think.
It's a better idea.
Yeah. The clouds are a bit high. Should I still go higher?
Probably not.
No.
We'll just go for the target.
I'll go a bit lower. Sorry if I'm shouting again. That was deliberate. Not perhaps the safest thing to do. Alright, so we're approaching our target here. Swap to our air-to-ground missiles. A quick flyby. There's the convoy. Stop this. So let's go internal view. Bring ourselves around so that we can get a good attack vector on them.
Try not to crash into them.
Try not to crash. That might be a little easier said than done. Alright, hard turn to the right. Jeez. Let's see if I can get them locked. Got one.
Pretend you're in Top Gun.
Missile away. Fox 1. I think that was a hit. Yep, one down. 2 to go.
So your condition for this task is to destroy it?
Is to destroy all 3 of the trucks. So we'll try and get the 2nd or 3rd.
Keyboard juggling.
Maybe worth mentioning this
Fox
is
1.
the other really cool settlement on Altus, the old island capital.
Yep, this is the old capital of Altus called Kavala. You might remember we teased it a little bit at the end of the last stream. We're still not really going to show you it in lots of detail, but you can see just from the air here that it is rather massive.
Yeah, I think it's much better for a lot of people just to be when it finally hits Death Branch and the game itself, to just go in and start exploring, because there's so much.
So I just dropped 2 bombs and both missed.
Well done.
And that's probably violated so many international laws.
So you only have
I only have 1 left. Wonder if I can hit him with my cannon. Probably cannot, so let's try and line it up here. Probably look a little bit constipated at the moment. My apologies.
That's one way of describing it.
Where is he? I can't actually... Oh, he looks like he's actually taking it upon himself to run away.
Seems like the sensible thing to do.
If I don't get him on this run, I think we'll just move on, probably.
Yeah.
Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? I'm just firing random... There he is. Okay. One more run, because now I know where he is. I think
That's the game.
Probably leave it, because he's
Probably leave it.
also trying to hide in between doing settlement and this.
Yeah, that's true. Obviously, things are still work in progress. But yeah, so a little bit of a demonstration of fixed-wing aircraft there. So, do you think we should head back to the airfield and land?
Well, if you can do that, that would be
Oh yeah,
rather
yeah.
impressive.
Well, it will be a test of my fortitude, but we shall see.
And then I guess we can move on for our next segment.
That's true, yeah. But I guess we'll just make our way back. But yeah, so rather massive city back there. And we got 2 out of 3.
And
so not-
there's still entirely different types of the island, types of area of the island as well that we haven't seen yet.
Yeah.
And we are in trying to show now actually. But
As we said earlier, we'll
Lots of-
leave a lot for exploration and such.
There's a lot of potential for all sorts of different scenarios.
I'm just checking
amphibious
this out.
landings.
Definitely.
And let's not forget the underwater world as well. Like all of these bays, they have some pretty interesting areas to explore.
That's for sure the new dimension that Arma 3 introduces. Alright, so I think we're coming up on the runway. I think I'm overshooting the runway. I think I'm actually lined up now, more or less. So let's put the gear down.
You might want to go flaps as well if you're
Yeah, let's put the flaps down too.
slowing down.
Concentration face, game face. That's what it should be, game face.
Crash face.
Oh, crash face, we'll see in a second. Oh, I'm a little bit off. Can I get myself aligned? That shouldn't be too hard. And touchdown. Not the smoothest
It
landing I've
wasn't
done.
too subtle, but it's sort of.
Yeah, but I landed. Now can I slow myself down in time? That's another. Oh boy. Oh, it looks like
Well done.
I'm gonna call you top from
Yeah. I wasn't expecting that to work.
Maybe what we can quickly show is not actually publishing to workshop, but if you exit out the mission and go back to the editor just to show the display and see how it works.
Yeah, sure.
What sort of option there?
So if I wanted to just go ahead and publish this straight to workshop for everyone else to play, what would I do?
click that little
This
button next
little
to
button
it,
right here.
and then we'll just walk quickly through some of the options that you have. You can give it a couple of tags to make it more easy to filter through in the workshop what sort of scenario it is: single player, multiplayer, co-op, tanks, etc. Visibility controls who can see this mission on the workshop. Might be that you just want to have it private for you to see only, just your friends or everyone. Description, obviously, a little text description, and then you can also select an image. One of the cool things about that is you can directly upload a screenshot that you've taken from the Steam client. So you don't have to edit something out of game, you can just select the image, upload it.
Yeah, take the image, select it, upload, done.
Yeah, and then you basically go publish, done.
Mhm.
And then everyone from in the game, they can just subscribe, download, and play. It's pretty cool.
And I guess everyone has a certain storage limit.
Yeah, it seems currently you have a gigabyte each.
Mhm. And of course, usual, do you agree with the license, all that kind of stuff. Then you just click
But
publish.
the thing to
and-
say about that maybe is there were some concerns within the community about this license, and we definitely have worked with Valve to make a new version of it that I think is more agreeable for more people. And yeah, so that's been changed for us.
Yeah.
So go, yeah, cancel, and then
Yeah, don't want to publish this just yet, but maybe it will be in the future.
Yep.
Who knows? All right, so
So do you want to
moving
bring
on.
in the Lord of Encoding, Mr. Patka,
Yeah, I think so.
if he's ready for it?
Are you ready? 1 second, he
Yes.
says.
He's not. He's too busy trolling the forums.
Yeah. I should have stayed in my plane. I was having fun in that plane.
Yeah, but I saw some people were not sure about the new task module system, so I think that's a great demonstration of how quick it is to link it up.
Yeah,
And
before
even the texts were done,
Yeah.
you didn't have to type anything. It was just
and
a-
before all of this, you needed to know like the scripting language, all that kind of stuff. Now it's much more visual,
Now
much more easy for the basic user.
Now it's just waiting to be localized into 7 different languages.
Yes, localization.
And the important thing, as with everything, is these modules, we have our own in the library of the editor, but you can make your own, and you can...
Very true.
Yeah, that's a really cool thing.
Yeah, and everyone can contribute to making each other's lives easier, pretty much. Yeah.
Pretty much.
Cool.
So let's bring in Mr. Petka.
Sounds like a plan.
See you guys later.
Come have a seat, sir.
Thanks a lot.
Welcome.
Hello again. And we are again sorry for the problems with the bandwidth.
Becky, you're bouncing quite significantly.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I'm the only one in a nice comfy chair. Okay, so I guess what we're going to move on to here is a little bit of a demonstration of tanks for Arma 3. So one of the new showcases that will be included at release as well is Showcase Tanks. And it's both single player and multiplayer. So you can see it right here. And I guess we'll just get started. Let's restart so we don't join the last session.
Let's get into the hedge.
What we're going to do right now is we're going to show the multiplayer version because it's a little bit faster into the action, that kind of stuff. But there is a single player version. So I guess I'll just select group leader here and we'll get moving.
Yeah. This actually means that all the content we have for the multiplayer is also playable in the single player, so there is quite a lot of content going on in the release of the game.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. There's a lot of stuff for everyone to play around with.
Yeah, there are many hours of gameplay in there.
Mm-hmm.
There are like 12 single player missions, 9 multiplayer missions which can be played in single player, of course, and then 10 firing drills, and you can make your own mission as
of course, yeah, as we just demonstrated. But I guess one thing to say is, if you want a full overview of the content, you can head to our countdown to launch page on the website.
Yeah.
What we'll do for now is we'll just get started here. So task seasmolus sounds like enough.
Move to grid 2, 8,
All right.
2, 4, 2.
Seems we have a little bit of an overlay bug here, probably specifically related to tanks, but
That's reported.
yeah, okay, we know about it, so
It's a feature.
yeah, it's a feature. It's a feature. It's not a bug. It's a feature. It's a tank mission. What do you expect? Okay, so here we are in our M2A1 Slammer, and our tank platoon behind us. You can see them down here in the command bar. So I guess we'll just get straight into the action. I think what I'm going to do is switch to the gunner seat, so I can do some firing of my own.
Forward.
So let's go.
Fast.
So I guess this will be a real demonstration of like the new possibilities brought to the game by like physics and that kind of stuff. Alright. So
And of course there is going to be more story in the single player version of the
300
mission.
meters, bearing 225. Stop.
This version is like more streamlined, right into the tank.
100 meters.
got some infantry over in the distance there.
Forward.
Southwest.
Not much of a threat for us yet. Of course, if they do have AT launchers, then they're going to be a problem for us.
Target down. Target neutralized.
Seems like my tank platoon made short work. Oh, we got an enemy vehicle. Just took out the back tires of him with a single shot. Let's see if we can't finish him off. Oh, he finished. One of my other guys finished him off. Oh, we have something to our right. Just saw it on our radar at the top there. You can see.
Forward.
Maybe my guys can take them out. Right as I say that, yeah, they fired on him as well.
Yeah.
Forward.
As you may see, the penetration system has been improved a bit, or maybe a lot for
Yeah,
someone,
definitely.
because nowadays you are able to shoot the crew of the tank
Mm-hmm. Let's swap to heat here and take out that truck. Nice little explosion.
Left. Forward.
Looks like we got another contact to our left here somewhere.
Rifleman. Half a click. South. Hostile.
So you can see, of course, the smoke effects affected by the wind and all that stuff.
Machine gunner. 400
It's a bit
meters.
windy out
South.
right now on Altus, I think.
I've got it.
God, he's a little courageous, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he must be going to support his friends. Ah, my other tanks are taking care of him quite nicely.
Yeah.
And he's got
MRAP, 100 meters. Right. Soldier.
MRAP 100 meters to our right, apparently.
Target down.
So you can see we're just quite clearly steamrolling through the plains of Altus, eliminating everything in our path.
The tanks are clearly a beast of steel.
Yes,
so
definitely.
Left.
I feel quite safe inside this thing, I must admit. Yeah, you can see there, nice thing about physics. We hit these obstacles, not according to the tank.
Target
Yeah,
down.
and there's even a lot of more stuff to configure with the physics, like
Everything's still work in progress, yeah.
400 meters. Northeast.
like previously, if you wanted to make a car, it would be just changing the speed, but nowadays you are able to adjust the suspension, adjust the wheels, and things like that. We have made quite a lot of documentation about that, so if you want to make your own car into the game, it should be quite easy to do that.
Yeah, definitely trying to make our renowned modders' lives easier. Yeah.
Yeah.
Target neutralized.
One, maybe for the guys wondering what other improvements you've made to the AI, it reminded me when Zip talked about those little low walls that the tanks can just steamroll over. One of the things our programming lead in Mishek has done, Dr. Kletti, he created a new class of wall. So basically, if you're in something like a small car, the AI won't try to drive over these walls that will just destroy their tires on. But if you're in the tank, they'll see that object and know they'll be able to pass over it So it means in engagements like this, the tanks will be much more able to maneuver around the battlefield. They won't sort of stop to go around the wall because
Oh, I just took a hit.
so it's a sort of a little subtle change, but it's definitely something which we hope really helps in the pathfinding of vehicles in situations like this.
Oh, I'm taking quite a number of hits.
Yeah, and increment
Seems I've just walked into a hornet's nest.
Yeah.
Or rolled into a hornet's nest, shall we say. I think I've neutralized the threat of that tank for now. How's that one of his crew members? Oh, one of my fellow members in my tank platoon took him out. But yeah, going on from what Jay said, you can see my AI, completely AI controlled tank platoon is keeping up with me over this terrain, and you've seen that I've gone over these low walls he mentioned. I've gone over boulders, through trees, through bushes, around buildings. They're still keeping up with me. So.
And you may have even seen that there's some warning for incoming missiles in the tanks, so you are able to manage them and to get out of the range of the missiles or something like that, to apply some countermeasures.
Seems my my fellow tank platoon members are getting a bit hammered by these tanks right here, so I'm gonna try and help them out.
Right. Forward.
That big tank right there, you can see it's the Op-4 main battle tank, the T-100 Varsuk, which will also be included at release. Bit of the main opponent to our M2A1 Slammers here. You can see though that our numbers kind of outweigh theirs, so we managed to take them both out. So let's see if we can't mop up the area around Wallace here and complete the mission.
Left. Forward.
Tank, 300 meters north.
It seems my marshal crew took too much damage and were forced to move out on foot. Again, reinforcing the thing that it's the aspect that it's go anywhere, do anything.
Yeah.
So they've transitioned from rolling across the plains of Altus to walking across the plains of Altus. I'm still hearing a whole bunch of explosions, but I can't see where my guys are firing, so maybe I should stop moving and take a look around. Yeah, it is kind of nice at times to just survey the battlefield and see the damage you've done and where you've come from. So we came from all the way over there, and now we're all the way into the town, so...
There's steamroll all the tanks.
And you can see the smoke there and all that kind of stuff.
Again, a very different kind of battlefield from what you can have on Stratus, which is much more about those hills and valleys. So when we open up to an enormous environment like Altus, we can do these kind of things, and roll across these big plains. But then when we get to these larger cities, tanks become a lot less.
Well, there we go.
As we get to the city, it becomes a lot less effective. But in this case, our objective is just to clear out the way.
And it seems we did that.
Nice.
So yeah, a quick demonstration there of the abilities of our tanks in Arma 3. And I must say for myself, it was quite fun, quite different to be rolling in such a weapon of destruction. Let's see, what did I successfully... I did get quite a number of kills. We lost one guy, that's a shame. Alright, so what shall we move on to next, do you think?
Well,
do we have some more
jump
questions?
in for our final 2 questions of the community, basically, from the forums. I actually think, well, first I actually want to say, to get a kind of idea of what your work is, I would actually want to point people towards the reporting interview we did a few weeks ago. Basically, if you go to Arma 3 website, go to news, and then scroll down a little bit, you can find an interview with him, and it kind of explains what goes into configuring all the weapons, all the vehicles.
If you guys don't mind, I'm just going to fly around for a minute.
So, let's continue with this. The first question from Kilroy the Nerd is, are there any improvements to artillery? Like, are there special munitions, such as laser-guided or search and destroy?
Well, the artillery has been completely reworked, engine-wise, and there are some special kind of ammunition, like you are able to have some kind of sub-munition, so the shell changes into something else mid-air, and you could have, for example, cluster ammunition, which is banned, but well, this is war, and
This is war.
yeah, and sometimes you need to do the wrong stuff to get the right stuff. And for example, the laser guided ammunition works, and even the seek and destroy ammunition works, and you are able to hit the target even without knowing his exact position if you have the ammunition, which could be kind of problem. So there has been quite a lot of improvements in this, and once you see the artillery shot going nearby, you are pretty damned.
Okay. So I hope that answers the question of Kilroy. Then moving on to another great name, it's Daskunk. Who has a question, and he's basically asking, which is actually a really interesting question, I think, for everyone who likes to make missions in Arma 3.
Yeah.
His question is, will there be more editor objects to play with? And then he refers to things like ambient sounds and whatever objects.
Well, it depends on the kind of the objects. There is going to be a lot more objects with the launch of the game. These are not listed on the launch page because it's mostly some kind of minor objects like pens or the drill or something like that. You are able to put into the mission. Some of them are just spawnable via script, and most of them are placeable into the editor, so they are quite easy to use.
Okay. Well, I think actually seeing Thomas drive the UAV, maybe we can have one bonus question.
Just kind of trying
Basically,
to
it's a question about do the new UAVs work the same as in Arma 2? Or
well, that's there has been quite a lot of engine improvements, because previously in Arma 2 the UAVs were mostly scripted, and now it's engine based. That means that they are faster for the game, and even there are some kind of new stuff in there, like the scripted version was consisting of an invisible soldier who paradropped out of the vehicle and something like that. But nowadays we have really an autonomous unit, and you are not able to make it paradrop or something like that. You are able to take control of any object, and even to switch into the camera or into the gunner's position. The light darter and the fixed wing UAV have the laser designator, and they are able to see the targets and broadcast them to other members of your group. So there could be used to, for example, send the artillery we were speaking about.
Okay. So I will let you
get back to it. All right, cool. Well, you might have been looking while they were talking at some of our new drones. What you saw before was the Stomper. You also had a look at this here, the Darter, sitting there on the NATO showcase. But now we're actually in control of them. So, well, what's new, sir?
Well, you could, of course, release the control and let it be autonomous. And
yep. Or that's also very true. If I could just get him to hover right here. But yeah, so release control. You can see there he is. Hello.
There it is.
I'm gonna take control again.
And it does its own stuff. You could, of course, assign some waypoints for it, or make it do some stuff like circling around the enemy group and reporting the positions.
Yeah, as you might have seen there for just a second, we swapped to the thermal vision from the optics mode of the Darter right here, and you could see if I do it again. Some thermal here, so you can use this to very easily pinpoint hidden enemy units and such. And I think you can even designate them for friendly units if you need to. So it's a nice little way of maybe even creating some cooperative scenarios for you to play with.
Yeah, because both Darter and the fixed wing UAV are equipped with the laser pointer, and you are able to pinpoint the position of enemy and use it, for example, for the artillery or something like that. Of course, you could just report the position of enemies to your group and use this as a recon advantage.
And obviously, it's not like it can go particularly anywhere. You can see right now it's rather agile, but it's not the fastest thing in the world. So you do need the human element to it to get into the right position, set yourself up. You saw at the beginning there, I actually had it as a backpack, so I can take it, disassemble it, reassemble it, that kind of stuff. Yeah. And of course, we have only a limited capacity of fuel. Yeah. And you can see in the top left that I've already used a fairly significant amount of it just by flying around here. So you do have to be smart about how you deploy these things. But they definitely change things up in a nice way. Yeah. Add a new, shall we say, dimension to the gameplay.
And I think one thing that I really like about them is they're like man portable. You can put them in the backpacks. You can have. So the importance of the UAV operator in your squad, you know, he becomes a legitimate part of gameplay himself.
So if I land this thing here, I think I could actually demonstrate again, disassembling him and putting him right back into a backpack for me to carry around, if I don't crash while doing so.
Yeah, it's pretty agile.
Yeah.
It's hard to control it correctly.
We got down just fine.
Yeah, once you get used to it, it's like easy.
Yeah, so you can see here, you have the option in the action menu, disassemble. Press it, and he's now in a backpack. Yeah. And if we want, we can then take this backpack, and there we have it. So now I'm my squad's UAV operator. I'm moving with them. We get to a point.
Yeah. So we can see that if we had a squad-on-squad engagement, we get the UAV operator deploy the data, find out the position of the enemy, and then make the right choices about how to proceed with the engagement. Yeah. It's all part of natively part of the game now. There's no scripting around that you have to do. It just works, and so we think it's a really nice little advancement from what we had in Arrowhead at least.
Yeah. Definitely.
And like I alluded to earlier before, if we have a couple more bits of fine tuning to do with these drones, but we'd really like to get them out onto the dev branch later next week, and stay tuned to our social channels because we'll be sure to announce that as and when we do.
Yeah. And of course, the UAVs are not some kind of super weapon because they are easily destroyed. So 1 or 2 shots disable them, and then the opposite group is without their side.
You definitely, as we said, you definitely have to use them strategically and tactically. Yeah. All right. Well, there's a nice quick look at drones. So how are we doing on time?
Yeah, I think we can wrap up.
Yeah. Okay. Well, with that, we shall say goodbye for this this particular live stream. So, as always, guys, thanks for joining us. Once again, sorry for the less than live aspect of it, but hopefully we still got to show you what we wanted to show you. So, yeah, I hope you've enjoyed. And
one thing I didn't actually. Okay. I know that there's a lot of our team actually watching this stream sort of live, or they will be watching it. I just wanted to thank every one of them for their really hard work in the last few months especially, and now leading up to release. Like, they're working insane hours, weekends, and like all of us being here on a Saturday, obviously. Thanks a lot, and keep up the great work.
All right.
Okay, great.
So, yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and hopefully see you again in the future. Yeah, so.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Yeah. All right. See you guys. And